you want the blanket to be. I will insert text on my screen once I measure it, so you'll know how long mine was. And then you continue doing this increase here, decrease here, and then at some point you'll get to this point, and I'll show it to you, and I'll add another color here. But at this point we're going to start decreasing here and decreasing here. We're going to decrease on both ends, and when we start doing that, it will start coming to a point. It's kind of weird. It's kind of hard to imagine how it's going to do that, but it does. So we're going to decrease the second stitch in here, and we're going to decrease the second stitch in here, and we're going to still maintain our slip stitch edge on both sides. So I'm going to again stop the video. I'm going to change colors, and then I'll show you how I do each side, and then we'll continue on down to the point. All right, we're going to start doing a decrease on both sides, and I'm going to use this bright pink yarn. I'm going to go ahead and cut here. Again, you'll continue with the same thread you've been using, but I'm going to cut mine. And now we're going to start doing our decreases on both ends. And then that will help us get down to the point. So I'm just going to start using the pink, and we're going to do decreases, one stitch in on both edges. And now we've got 40 stitches, so now we're going to start going back down to 4 stitches. So we're going to slip the first stitch, and now we're going to start doing decreases. So I'm going to, instead of doing a knit into the front and back, I'm going to knit 2 together. So I'm going to grab those 2 next stitches through the back leg. You can do it through the front leg. And I'm going to pull my new yarn through, and then take both those stitches off. So now I just decreased by 1. So now I'm going to knit down to the other edge, and when I get 3 stitches to the edge, we'll do another knit 2 together, and then we will have decreased 2 stitches. Okay, we're coming up on our last 3 stitches. Last 3 stitches, we're going to knit 2 together like we've been doing. I go through the back, knit 2 together, knit the last stitch. That was our front side. Now we're going to go back on our back side, slip the first stitch, knit the rest of the stitches. Slip the first stitch, knit the rest of the stitches. My stitch will be a little bit looser because I started a new color, but I will tighten all that up here in a second. Oops, there's 1 stitch left. I gotta knit that one. And then tighten everything up. There we go. All right. So now that we are establishing this new pattern of decreasing on both ends, we need to put a marker there. And I'm going to take the marker that I've been using to tell me the front. I kind of know now which is the front and which is the back. I'm going to take this marker out, and I'm going to place it right where the corner stitch started, which was this last row we just did. And I'm going to place that, I'm going to kind of go under both legs. There's 2 legs to that slipped stitch. If I can get that yarn, there we go. There's 2 legs to that slipped stitch, and I put my stitch marker between those in the hole that's left there, so that there's 2 legs right there. And then that's going to denote to me for the future, when I get to do my next column, I'm going to know where my corner stitch was. So I'm going to continue on in this pattern, decreasing here, and we will slowly come to our point. And when I have 4 stitches left on the needle, then we'll finish off this stripe. Here is our column that we're first panel, and I've gotten this down to my last 4 stitches. This is turned around. There we go. So here's where we're at. We started decreasing on both ends, and by decreasing on both ends it comes to a point. So that's where we're at. And you can see where I put the marker on when we started decreasing, and that's going to be important in a minute because we're going to put another stitch marker somewhere down here to help us when we start our second panel. So I'm down to my 4 stitches left. I need to finish off and come to a point. So what I'm going to do, let's get this out of the way. What I'm going to do, I have 2 stitches left. I'm going to do 2 decreases. I'm going to knit 2 together and then knit 2 together. So I'm going to knit these 2 by the back loop, and I'm going to knit the last 2 together by the back loop. So that gives me 2 stitches left. I'm going to go ahead and knit these 2 stitches together and then pull my yarn through. So I've got 2 stitches left. I'm on the wrong side of my work, and I'm just going to knit these 2 stitches together. And then you have 2 ways you can finish this. You can either make your loop bigger. You can pull your yarn through. You can grab the yarn through the loop and pull up on it, or you can make your loop bigger and then just continue to pull up till the tail comes out. Either way is fine, and that locks that last stitch. So now when we look at it, it comes to a very nice point. So now this is our long scarf first panel, and we're going to start a second panel, and we're going to attach it to the bottom 1 stitch at a time and work our way up.